Welcome to another episode of the Modern Skein podcast. My name is Sharon Graff, and I am the owner of the Modern Skein, which is a yarn shop here in Montgomery, Texas. Hello, welcome. We're back from DFW. Cheers. So grab your cup of coffee if it's morning time, or whatever beverage you would like to be drinking. I have some caffeine in this for sure. Did y'all know we have mugs? We do. Fun fact for you. I feel like I've moved about 500 of them. I know I don't actually have that many in inventory, but it feels that way. So, welcome to the podcast. We are back from DFW, and we have so much to share with you. So, buckle up, get your caffeine on, and let's get started. I need a sip. So, where do I begin? DFW was the most amazing weekend I've had in a long time. So, it's always chaotic and lots of crazy shenanigans, as always, with any type of vendor show. But it was a very awesome time. The show itself was not very stressful, which is great. And we had the most amazing time. So in case you've been under a rock or haven't seen any of the episodes, don't follow us on Instagram or any of the things. I flew in Max and Vincent from Les Garçons, and did I pronounce it right, guys? Les Garçons. Anyway, we have a pronunciation inside joke now. So we flew the guys in and picked them up at the airport and brought them in for the show, and it was the most amazing time. We also had Sit and Stitch Lobby Takeover at the Marriott, which was super fun. On Friday night, we got the chance to meet up with some of our regular Sit and Stitchers, and then some of our long distance Sit and Stitchers, and some people who hadn't ever been able to participate in a Sit and Stitch, but were able to since we were in their area. So that was a lot of fun. Got to hang out with the guys, of course. We introduced them to real Texas barbecue, which was really fun. Tex-Mex, yes. We did definitely show them Tex-Mex and queso and all the things. And then, let's see what else. Just had a really fun time at the show. Max and Vincent brought several of their samples of their different designs in the yarns that we were showcasing, because we had British DK, BFL sock, and then of course the new Fluff, which I have a little bit behind me. So that was, I had to make sure the door was locked. There was commotion going on outside and we're not open. We had tons of their yarn. We still have a little bit of their yarn left, so don't worry. If you guys are watching right now, go to the website ASAP and snag your favorites. But they brought all their samples, including the Bumpy cardigan that Max knit out of the Fluff, which if you looked at Instagram, you saw I definitely tried to take that home and acquire it for my own self. He caught on and, wanted his sweater back. Rude. And so brought that, the Unbearable hoodie, which was adorable in real life. What else did they bring? Field shawl. Of course, I had my field shawl, and they had his field shawl, which was really fun. The Moon Bumps wrap done in the Fluff as well, instead of Fuwa. So I brought my Moon Bumps, which I of course test knit for them, in the Fuwa held double. And then he brought his Moon Bumps wrap in a single strand of the Fluff, which was really, really cool to see the dynamic between the two. And then there were other things too. I'm just having a total, can't remember. But anyway, it was a blast. I think they enjoyed it. and had a real good time. We stayed up too late every night talking about maybe some things coming to the shop soon, perhaps. Maybe a little mini collaboration of some sort. You'll have to stay tuned for that. And of course, just all things yarn and designing and Texas and Canada and all that fun stuff. So, fun fact for me, if you don't know it, I actually have some ancestral heritage from Canada. My great-grandparents were all Canadian citizens, and their family lineage goes back in Canada several generations. They originally came over from Wales, actually, to Canada and settled in the New Brunswick area, and then came on down to America. So, a little shared history there. So, now that we have done our little recap of DFW, I'm trying to think if I left anything. Oh, Rochelle of Moondrake popped by on Saturday, which was real fun. We had some photo opportunities. Of course, she was showing off some of her new pictures of her new studio space, which is really, really cool. And of course, we have some Fuwa right there. This is, okay, if you don't know where we are in the shop, this is what I call the fluffy wall, or the fuzzy wall. I think fluffy wall is better. I need to get a sign over this. It's so fluffy. But we have basically all of our mohair, our suri, our Fuwa, and now our fluff is going to be on that wall. When I get the rest of the colors of fluff in, I've got to rearrange it because we need more space for more fluff, because fluff is amazing. But I'll show you all that fun stuff here shortly. But as you can see, I have my interference sweater on the mannequin right behind me, and I do have a finished object to share with you guys that I completely forgot last episode. It was finished last episode, but it was already in our pile to go to DFW, so I totally forgot about it. But it also has some amazing fluffy. So let's get started. Oops, sorry. Did not mean to kick the camera. So my finished object, I'm also, can't really tell, but I am lounging on the little navy blue couch that I had at the show, and it's so much fun. Okay, so this is my Tessellated vest by Andrea Mowry. Like I said, I finished this several weeks ago because I finished it in time for a Texas Yarn Trail, but it never made it on the podcast. So this is, again, a pattern by Andrea Mowry. I'll let you see up close. I did not use Spincyle in this. I did Andorra for my main color in the colorway Camel. And then the colorway B, which should have been your Spincyle, I just used the Andorra in the dark navy. And then the C, which is Fluff, I used Fuwa, which is what the pattern called for, in the colorway Toffee. And finally, we have Toffee restocked along with a whole bunch of other colors. So, 3 colors. I knit the size 3, I believe. And it fits really, really well. I'm very pleased with the fit. I really didn't do any modifications. I knit it to length. I think on me it has, if I'm recalling the pattern correctly, I think the size 3 finished measurement was like 41 and a half. I think 41 and a half finished, which is what it blocked out to, which gives me about, it's too early to do math. It gives me about 3.5 inches. Ugh, I can't talk. 3.5 inches of positive ease. So I really like the fit. I think she called for 4 to 6 for the vest, but I don't like that much positive ease. So love this pattern. It was a fun knit. And you only really use 1 skein of Fuwa. I honestly did not even use a full skein. So here's my Fuwa experience on getting the most out of your skein. I bought 4 skeins of Fuwa Toffee last year. I originally bought 2 and then I bought 2 more. So I had 4 skeins of Fuwa in the colorway Toffee. Long story short. So I test knit Moon Bumps by Maxim Cyr, calls for 4 skeins. I truly only used like 3, and I didn't weigh it. That was my problem. But I would say 3, or did I weigh it? I did weigh it because I had to in the notes. Anyway, it was like 3.2 skeins, if you will. So I had the majority of my 4th skein left. I knit this with what was left. Take that back. Before I had even done the Moon Bumps wrap, I broke into the first skein of Fuwa and used it held double for the Alpenglow. So you use it on the collar and the cuffs. Very, very little used. And so then I used my Moon Bumps. I still had some left. Then I used it in this pattern. And of course you don't hold it double here, so you're not using as much. And I still have a little bit left that I'm going to see. I think I can knit another lei bandana, I'll show you in my whips, with it potentially held double. So if you are planning on something like a Moon Bumps wrap and you're like, it's a lot, you can get several projects out of Fuwa with it. So let's say do your Moon Bumps wrap, and then depending with how much you have left, you know, because it is going to be subjective to your row gauge, and provided that you knit the sample to gauge, etc. You may have enough to knit you a tessellated vest, knit, and depending, of course, on the size, but all size, she wrote this, for all sizes only need 1 skein. So as long as you're, I would say, probably like a 6 or less, you would have enough to finish or to knit that. I say size, her pattern size 6 or less, not like US sizing, which is crappy. Or you would have enough for an Alpenglow and maybe a lei bandana, something like that. I can't say now lei bandana without thinking of Vincent making fun of how I say lei bandana. Anyway, yes, Fuwa. You can make it stretch because it is an expensive yarn. It's $42 a skein, but in my opinion, it's so worth it. That being said, if you want to knit a budget-friendly version of Moon Bumps, get Fluff. I want to say Le Fluff. Get the Fluff because you only need 2 skeins and it's $26. So 2 skeins of Fluff because you don't have to hold a double. It's just a single strand, and do Moon Bumps. Okay, let's talk about whips. Where are my whips? Where are my whips? Where are my? Oh. Okay. So, since I could not convince, how rude, Max to give me his Bumpy cardigan, I'll just have to knit my own. It's so good. And yes, I'm totally copying the color and everything. So this is Fluff, single strand by itself in the Moon Bumps, in the Bumpy cardigan. I am loving this. So I'm getting ready to, I've got a few more rows and then I'll do my 3rd I-cord stripe. I did try to find a Spincyle. I am using Spincyle. Try to find one that was pretty similar in shading to his. He used Ghost Ranch in his original, and at the show, the booth that had Spincyle, they did not have any Ghost Ranch in the dyed in the wool, but they had this, which is Every Rose, which kind of had all the same, this has got some fluffy bits on it, had all the same tones that Ghost Ranch has, but obviously different. feel like this is a little more corally, maybe. But I hand wound this because, you know, you had to start it at the show and I have no chill. So 2 skeins for the Bumpy cardigan. If you're doing the size 4, you need 5 skeins of fluff. I am using the colorway Feather because it is perfection. Feather is a warm gray. So they have a cool gray and a warm gray. Cool gray is going to be Cold Rain. Warm gray is going to be Feather. And then just 2 skeins of your Spincyle dyed in the wool. Again, I did Every Rose, but his original was in Ghost Ranch. You can see pictures of me wearing it on my Instagram and also of him wearing it as well. A side note, Fluff. Oh my gosh. You guys, it's amazing. For one, it does not shed nearly. Well, I'm going to go out and say it doesn't shed. I'm sure, yeah, if you pick at it, you can get it to shed. Yes, it's a fluffy yarn. But it does not shed like mohair or any of the other fluffy yarns at all. It is so soft. So this is knit at a 16 stitch gauge. So this would be a great substitute for things like, well, certain patterns that are knit a 16 stitch gauge. I know some of the Ozetta cardigans are like several strands of mohair and a fingering done at 16 stitch gauge. You could easily replace that with a single strand of fluff. The Bumpy cardigan is done at a tighter gauge, so it is more of a, I believe, a 21 stitch gauge. You can see it's not a see-through fabric, you know, at a 21 stitch gauge. And it really isn't a see-through fabric at a 16 stitch gauge. The fluff really fills in nicely, but it just gives you 2 very different looks, and I just freaking love this. So I honestly, full disclosure, thought the Bumpy cardigan when it came out was cute, but not my style. Sorry, I did have a fluff attack. But yeah, I really didn't think it was quite my style until I tried on the fluff version. Well, actually, I'd put on at the show, Kathy had brought her Bumpy, which she had done in the British DK, and it was all of a sudden freezing cold, and I didn't want to put a pullover sweater on, so I popped that on, and I was like, man, this fits really nice. She also had knit a size 4, and then I put on Max's, and it's like, oh, it's so lightweight because of the fluff. It's warm and cozy without being hot. It just was perfection. And the way that he has done your shaping in the yoke, it sits on your shoulders, it doesn't fall off your shoulders. It's just brilliant. So I have cast mine on, and I am eagerly anticipating when it is finished because I cannot wait to wear this fall. I also think as Max mentioned, he is in his cardigan era. As much as I did not think I was a cardigan person, I think I am getting into my cardigan era as well because they're so easy, especially in our weather when it can be hot and cold, crazily. And they're just so nice, especially the Bumpy cardigan. So, Bumpy cardigan by Maxim Cyr, Max the Knitter on Ravelry and Instagram. And it is the fluff as my main yarn, and then Spincyle for my contrasts. So that is the whip that I started while at DFW. What else do I have? Well, I'll show this because it's right here and it's Max's design, and I do not believe, well, I may have knit a row or 2. Oh, but you can see the new Surrey Progress Keeper. This is his design, Chevronopolis, which is a slip stitch shawl. Yeah, I don't think I actually have done anything on it since, but this is my slow knitting project that is just living in my craft room. This is Spincyle in Stay Ready. What did we determine this next color was? Oh yeah, Grumpy Birds, and then it'll go into light years. So, ta-da! Neutral going into like grays and a little bit of green. And then of course my contrast, or my main black color throughout is Andorra in the colorway Raven, which is their new jet black, which is lovely. And there's Suri. Okay, so that is that project. What's in here? Oh, I did work on this a little bit. Again, cardigan era. This is my Eva? Yes, Eva. I say this is my Eva. Where is it? I have my yarn. I don't have the project. Is it in here? Hold, please. Good Lord. Okay. I just ripped stitches out. This is my Eva cardigan by Petite Knit. See, I am in my cardigan era. I'm loving the sleeve. So it was like a continuous set-in sleeve, I believe is the term. Oh, so good. I am, I think, on the row or one row away from separating for sleeves, which is why I kind of stopped at the show. They didn't have my stitch holders or anything like that. So why not cast on the new Bumpy cardigan? But this is definitely going to be worked on very, very soon. This is, again, the Eva cardigan by Petite Knit, and the yarn is Double Sunday in the colorway 6580. I believe it's Blue Night is the actual name, but we do have this colorway available. It's like a steely gray blue with a hint of a teal undertone, very much like Edith's Butler. But yes, that is my Eva cardigan. I'm going to put it back in the bag where it belongs. Though I have something else in this bag that I'm going to show you as well. That's not yet a whip, but it will be soon. Oh, and this is my little, I didn't get very far, but I brought this with me just in case I needed something very simple to knit on. This is the start of another Le Bandana. Le Bandana is a pattern by Aimee Gille of La Bien-Aimée, and I'm doing another striped version. So this is Andorra in the colorway Camel, left over from my Tessellated vest, and then the Fuwa held double in the colorway Toffee. So I'm excited. That'll just be kind of social knit kind of projects and things like that. Oh, I do have to show this. This was a selfish impulse buy that I did right before the show, because I was watching a Yarn Story podcast and saw this and was like, I have to have it. It's a belt bag. So this is the Hide and Hammer. I think she just calls it belt bag. I think. I bought it for the show to keep like my phone and wallet and everything in. It's fantastic. Can't really see it on me, but I love it. Smells like good leather. So that was my little selfish purchase for the week. Okay, moving on. I showed you that whip. That's kind of all the whips that I have going semi-actively right now. Not saying there aren't other whips, but as far as active whips and things that are going on, yarn down. That's it. Okay, now let's talk about McCown. So, the Stephen West MCal is coming up, which is, of course, his mystery knit along. This year, the theme is Geo Gradient. So, that means you need 4 skeins of fingering weight yarn in a tonal type gradient. You can have a little pop in there, you could have a little speckle, but for the most part, a tonal gradient. And as like Garçons yarn is my new obsession. Yeah. This is what I'm doing for the MCal. It's going to be glorious. Ta-da! So, this is, if you watch their podcast, they actually talked about this. This is their BFL sock in Emma Stone, Meredith's Gray, Cheryl's Coal Gray, and of course Moira's Black Rose. And it's going to be the black shawl of my dreams. Better be. Stephen, better be good. So that's my MCal. Now, if you want this MCal kit, I don't have it. I don't know that I'm going to be able to get it in time for the MCal start date. So I believe Vincent said that he had dyed up some more Moira's Black Rose and put it on the website, put it on their website. So if you just absolutely have to have the same matching shawl that I have, go to lesgarçons.com and they probably have it. Maybe. That being said, we do have some really good Les Garçons MCal kits, and I'm getting ready to show you all the colors and all the things. Do we want to talk about Fluffy first? I feel like we should talk about Fluffy. So, Fluff. Fluff is a collaboration between Walcot Yarns, which is owned by Carmen of Yarn Story in Bath, England. She also owns the brand Walcot Yarns, which has the Opus and Origin yarn lines, and then now Fluff, which is a collaboration between her and Les Garçons. So it is a commercially dyed yarn. It is not a hand-dyed yarn, but it's a collaboration between the two of them on the colors and the fiber content and all that fun stuff. Retails for $26 a skein, US, and it comes in 15 colorways. Now, that being said, I have sold out at the show of quite a few colorways, but this here is Fluff. Yes, it is Fluff. The colorway is called Feather, which is, like I said, is their warm gray. Then there's also a cool gray called Cold Rain. Some of the other colors that I am out of, I may be forgetting one, but there is Mist, which is like a cool seafoam kind of mint colorway. Very light, very pale, very beautiful. Then you have the Lavender Tea, which is a dusty gray periwinkle. Not really periwinkle. It's like I would almost call it like a lavender milk tea, but with a gray undertone. It's very, very pretty. Then we have Boreal, which is a beautiful, no, I have Boreal. Boreal's right there. Glacial Depths. Glacial Depths is a beautiful blue. Shadow is a beautiful deep gray with a hint of a blue undertone. You also have, what else am I forgetting? Oh, Dancing Flamingo, which is a beautiful coral. Sorry, I'm leaning this way to look and see what colors are in there. Dancing Flamingo is a coral colorway. You have Velvet is a beautiful warm purple, like the colorway of Velvet. I really think I'm forgetting a colorway. Feather, Cold Rain, Mist, Lavender, Velvet, Boreal, Shadow. And then we have Cinema, Marmalade, Goldenrod, Officer, Boreal, Amethyst, English Rose. Yeah, I'm forgetting one color. What color am I forgetting? Goldenrod. This is irritating me now. But let me show you what I do have. So this is English Rose. It's a tiny bit more pink, I would say, in real life. Just a tiny bit. It's a beautiful, cool pink. This is Amethyst. I would say all the colors, the light in here, the sun is really shining in here, so it's washing out a few of these colors. That's a little more accurate. We have Boreal, beautiful green, kind of evergreen. This would go really good with Chris's Pine Green. Officer, perfect to go with Max's Khaki. This is Goldenrod, beautiful mustard, really, really pretty. We have someone that's going to do the Bumpy cardigan out of this. And it's beautiful. Then this is Marmalade. It's you got to watch their podcast to get that joke. And then this is Cinema. I think Flamingo was the color. I don't think I mentioned Flamingo. Did I? Okay, well, anyway, those are the colors. We are getting a restock, hopefully, fairly soon. I'm talking with Carmen on when we can get it, and because I know some of you guys special ordered colorways at the show, and so we are working as fast as we can to get those special orders fulfilled ASAP for you. Now, let's talk about Les Garçons colorways. So, since we have fewer of them, I'm going to talk about the BFL sock first. Bear with me. I put them all in a bin, and I put them apparently at the bottom. Okay. First off, let's play with some MCal kits as we were reading off colorways, because this would be a fabulous MCal kit. So this is Lyra's Hat, Nick's Current Obsession, Minnie's Wheat, and Emma's Stone. That would be so good. I'm going to put a photo up on the grid of that because that combo is just perfect. That's the wrong base. Then we also have, ooh, this would be a pretty one. Swap out a color. So the colorway I just put in here is Kirby's Pink. I love that. Nope, don't like that. There were several people that came up and were like, make us a kit, and me and Vincent, we have the same color palette. This would be beautiful. So this is Minnie's Wheat with Vincent's Highland Coup, Max's Khaki, and Chris's Pine Green. I actually think we made this kit for one of you guys at DFW. So that's beautiful. Oh, and then we also have Twyla Sand. That would be pretty. No. And we have Moira's Black Rose. So, these are the color. Oh, did I say Gerald's Eggplant as well? Some of these we are very limited on. I mean, like, all the colors just go together. Even if they don't, they kind of do. It's so good. As you can tell, we are sold out of most of our blue shades. So stay tuned, because I know we're going to definitely get Ellie's Childhood Home and Louis Shade back in, and probably Edith's Butler as well. And Jason's Aqua, because, you know, who doesn't need Aquaman in their life? Okay, now let's move on to British DK. I'm going to slide this bin over a little bit. Sorry, did not mean to hit the camera. And I'm going to caffeinate. So, for British DK colorways, I have my whip in here. we have Lyra's hat. So British DK, let me pause that. BFL sock is a 80% superwash BFL wool with 20% nylon. It has a beautiful round ply on it. It's just, I love it. I have used this for the Bandana and love it, and I will be using it, of course, for my MCown. Then you have British DK. So this is a line of gray-based, kind of a warm gray undertone wools, because it is a 75% BFL non-superwash with 25% non-superwash Maxim. So Maxim is a gray sheep that adds incredible softness and just a slight halo to the yarn. And it just, the colorways just glow on this British DK. So British DK is what I used in my field shawl, in my active duty cowl. What else have I used it in? My Cowboys and Angels by Isabel Kramer. And it's just a lovely, lovely yarn to work with. I plan on knitting a sweater out of this very soon. I just have to decide if I'm going to knit the new Andrea Mowry Weekender, the crew neck Weekender, or something else out of it. Not to mention, I have a couple test knits that I'm going to be doing soon. One of them uses sport weight yarn. Interesting. Anyway, this is British DK in Lyra's hat, which is that beautiful, beautiful red colorway. This, I'm going to compare them so you can see them side by side. This is Nick's Current Obsession. So this is more of a tomato red, a really, really nice kind of cheery Christmassy red as well. Love that. Then we have Remy's Peach. So Remy's Peach is definitely a peach with that gray undertone. Then you can compare it to Cardi's Ochre, which is more of the brown. Do I have any Twyla's Sand? Yeah, I do. And then this is Twyla's Sand, so more of a taupey sand color. So you can see those three. That would be beautiful together in something. So many things to knit, not enough time. Okay, then some of our blues. We have Vanilla's Ice Blue. I think this is the last one. This is one of their more bright colors. Then we have Abador's Waters. Love that one. And Pepper's Mint. Pepper's Mint is kind of a spearmint color. Really, really pretty, but toned down because of the gray base. Let's grab some more yummies. Okay, then we have, I'll compare this. This is Lorian's Sage Advice. There is it next to Pepper's Mint. So Pepper's Mint is more bright, and Lorian's Sage Advice is obviously a little more gray sage toned. Then we've got Minnie's Wheat, which is what I did my Cowboys and Angels shawl out of. This yarn is going to be fantastic for any of your sweaters or shawls that have any sort of textural elements to them, whether it be cables, whether it be lace, trellis type stitches, baubles, anything like that. It has the most amazing crisp, it's color work, crisp stitch definition that I've seen in a yarn, even with a halo. And it's my favorite. Don't tell Josh. It's my favorite. It's okay. This is, I'm going to show you this. So this is Jean Fee's Dirty Martini, which honestly, I had never ordered it until the show, and I was like, I need to have another green. I'm not going to like this color. I freaking love this color. It's so good. So Jean Fee's Dirty Martini, and then next to it is Max's Khaki. So you can see Max's Khaki is the darker of the two, but that would be a really cool active duty cowl or color work. Then we have Edith's Butler. Show you, it's very much a teal color. Deep, deep, deep teal. Love it. And this is Vincent's Highland Coup. Just that perfect. Let me compare it. So this is Cardi's Ochre and Vincent's Highland Coup. So there you go. Then we've got, what else do we have? Let me just get them all out. And a lot of these we do have in sweater quantities available. FYI. Oh, let me compare this. So this is Louis Shade, my personal favorite. Ow. Well, I don't know. Moira's, you know I love my navy blue, and this is truly navy. Moira's Black Rose has my heart, but okay, there's the difference. So this is Edith's Butler. This is Louis Shade. You can see the difference there. Then moving on to like our pinks and purples. This is Kirby's Pink. This is Roseanne's First Knit. A little more purple undertone, a little more pink undertone. Then we have Gerald's Eggplant, and then Carmen's Story. Both of those beautiful. And then my favorites. Okay, so we have Meredith's Gray, which is like the mid-tone gray. We have Cheryl's Coal Gray. They don't dye Emma Stone on this base, by the way. And then Moira's Black Rose. So if you wanted to do like a 4-color fade, you would have natural, which I'm out of, but I am getting in the shop fairly quickly because we have some special orders for it. So it would go natural if you were doing a DK fade. Natural, Meredith's Gray, Cheryl's Coal Gray, and Moira's Black Rose. Ta-da! Your yarn smells so good too. Okay. So that is the British DK, the Fluff, and the BFL sock. So that is all the Les Garçons amazing yarns that we have in the shop. They are going on our feature wall, and stay tuned because shortly, or by the time this episode comes up, I should have the feature wall redesigned with some new elements, and I'll have to put a photo on the gram because it's just gonna be so good. A couple other things real quick that we have in the store I want to update you on because they are available now in the website, in the website. We got our copies of Pom Pom Magazine's guest edited by Candace English of Farmer's Daughter Fiber. So if you pre-ordered your Pom Pom copy, those have already been shipped out, of course, but you can come pick up your copies in store. It's beautiful. There's a lot of crochet in here as well for my crochet friends. And then there's just beautiful, beautiful patterns, many of which would be amazing in British DK. Just saying. We also got in for the first time, we've been having a lot more requests for baby garments lately. So we went ahead and ordered the Mini Pom, which is a book of different knits and crochets for the little ones in your life. Anything from mittens to garments, hats, little scarves, colorwork sweaters, blankies, all the things. And instructions, socks, hats, everything. The cute little mittens on a string. I mean, it's just adorable. So if you need baby knits, modern baby knits, this is a great book to add to your library. Back by popular demand, Pom Pom Crochet Anthology is also back on the website and on our shelves. So this contains 10 crocheted patterns from the Pom Pom archive all in one place. The cover top is the water clover, which I have crocheted in Mojave, and it is stunning. And last but not least, episode 18. No, issue 18 of Lane Magazine is now on the shelves. And grab your copy. Pre-orders, of course, have already shipped out. And it's full of amazing, amazing patterns. The fantastic looking recipe for green beans. Those look really good. Ooh, and a plum cake. Hold on. Yeah. See, that's the thing, is you get way more. Ooh, risotto. Oh, yeah. You get way more than just a knitting book. But there are several patterns in here that are just gorgeous. I wanted to find. Yeah. Let me double check. This is DK, I think. Page 108. Oh. I was like, wait, hold on. So they did a fingering weight. Held with mohair. Sorry, 3 strands. So 1 strand of fingering weight, 2 strands. Apologies for reading this on camera, but basically the gauge, where's the gauge written here? There we go. It's a 16 stitch gauge. That's what I should have just looked there. But the Turtle Dove cardigan, 16 stitch gauge. Strand of British DK with a strand of mohair, 16 stitch gauge. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Perfection. So anyway, those, we also are now a stockist for 65 South bags. I have personally used 65 South bags for forever, since I found them at a friend's shop up in New Jersey years ago, and finally got in contact with her, and we now have her beautiful bucket bags. So, and we also have her Go pouches, which is like just a classic drawstring bag. So we have several different colors. We have others as well scattered around through the store, but these are available online now. Super high quality leather handles. Just love 65 South bags. I'm trying to think, is there anything else? There isn't, but I need to clean up this podcasting mess before we open. So that's a wrap for what's in store, and I hope you enjoyed the walkthrough of the of the Les Garçons colorway, British DK, and BFL sock, and of course the brand new Fluff. We also brought a lot of other things with us back from DFW, or had some extra that we saved for our custom. Oh, the pins! I can't not show you the pins. Pull. I just dragged something through the shop, but Max illustrated Surrey, our shop kitty, and we have these beautiful pins, and then her little face as a progress keeper, all done in rose gold, available in the shop. They are only available on our website, and they're just adorable. She's so dang cute. Oh, I love it. So these are available in store and online. You can grab yours today and have a little bit of Les Garçons and our Surrey the Shop Kitty with us, or with you. So I think that's it for this episode. Hopefully I will have quite a few things finished next episode. We'll see. 2 weeks I can get a lot done. I can. I could also start a lot of other new things too. See you guys around, and have a great rest of your day, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. And if you did, please like and subscribe to the show, and stay tuned. We have always lots of things going on. Oh my gosh, this is just the episode of me forgetting things to mention. We have a few spots left in our Leslie Ann Robinson knit graffiti classes coming up in our Texas Rhinebeck weekend. So be sure to visit the website and secure your spots for the meet and greet and for the classes. So don't forget, you don't want to miss, and we'll see you guys soon. Bye, guys.